there's some flows of things when people start using AI that I think are important. So when a lot of people first start, they just start asking questions to the AI and they kind of use it like a search engine. And that's fairly rudimentary. It's a fine way to start just to get comfortable with it. But then you need to start getting work done with this, or you can start getting work done with this. And so that's where automations can come into play, where you can give it a set of tasks that you want it to complete. This could be simple things if you're just wanting to experiment, of have it categorize some of your files. Maybe you have a disorganized downloads folder or an inbox of sorts that you want it to clean up. It can categorize those. It can look through them, decide what the labels and file names should be. Fine, that's a nice automation. It could save you time, but only if that's a task that you would actually be doing otherwise. Otherwise, you're just having AI do work that you weren't ever going to do in the first place. And then other forms of automation that I think are really valuable are the tasks that you do on repeat. So for example, in my business, when I meet with a client after a meeting, after one of our coaching sessions, I provide them a breakdown of the transcript, the summary notes, along with the raw transcript in case they wanted to look over anything we specifically said, and then also follow-up task. And those are organized and tracked and added to my tracking system. I don't do that manually. I used to do that manually because I didn't have an alternative. But an automation that I have here is to run through that transcript, process all of it, write a message into Slack that I can review and then send over to the client with a link to the document, along with adding things to my tracking system. So that's an automation. And then there's elements of it that have become an agent now. So for example, I have, to make it more agentic, meaning that it's making decisions on its own, is I have a process that every morning my calendar gets reviewed. And when I have a meeting coming up with a particular individual, a client or a prospect, the agent will do some initial research and put together a one-page brief before that meeting. And then it will schedule a task on my computer to open that up 5 minutes before my meeting is about to happen and move it over to one of my monitors. So it's there as soon as I'm ready. But it's also making decisions about what to research. That's where the agentic part comes in, is when it's making decisions outside of sort of, I just said, hey, get me ready for this meeting. It's classifying who this person might be. It's understanding what the context of the meeting based on some of the meeting descriptions might be, and then pulling in relevant information. So that's where the agentic part comes in. It's just making decisions for me. And those things all save me a ton of time. But those are some of the difference between automations and agentic workflows. The automations are more of a set of instructions that I have it follow directly, that I've given it. And the agentic workflow is where I'm telling it sort of the goal of it, and it's going to decide its path to get there. Overall, for you, as you're growing with your use of AI, find things that you do regularly, start by automating them, and then see whether or not you can broaden it out to an agent that could start making the decisions more broadly for you, and still give you an opportunity to assess whether it's doing it well or not.